So I'm Taj Singh, CEO of First Nordic Metals. We are, as the name implies, focused on the Nordics, specifically Sweden and Finland. Our kind of near-term priorities are our Gold Line Belt project package in Sweden, so I'll be focusing on that, and please come by the booth to talk about our Finland assets, which are also we're excited about, but because of time, I will focus on Sweden here. Forward-looking statements, and I'll just get right to it. So location, right? Location. First of all, the big part of this is the potential, the high potential of the geology here. We are the owners of 100 kilometers of strike of the Gold Line Belt, the Greenstone Belt, one of the least explored and kind of probably last frontiers of major gold development. And if you go out and try to go get that somewhere, tell me where we can get that and where you can duplicate 100 kilometers of strike owned by one company, which already has a multi-million ounce deposit on it and potential for several others on the belt. We're focused on Sweden there. All our projects are listed there. The Varsili project is in the middle, which we'll talk about. And there's also Storjuktin, Powbacken, and the Klippen project on the Gold Line Belt. And in Finland, we've got the Oijärvi Greenstone Belt, which contains the Kylmäkangas deposit. Again, I'll focus on Sweden. The big advantages here, guys, for Sweden is Sweden has become very, very pro-mining, perhaps taking a lead from Finland, which has seen increased activity. There's a deep, deep history of mining in Sweden and Finland, number 1 and 2 in metals and mining output for decades and decades and centuries. Security of tenure is fantastic. Taxation is unbelievable, one of the lowest. Again, it's a first world country, and that is obviously important in this day and age where we're seeing kind of assets in difficult jurisdictions getting into issues. So the political risk is great here. And again, just to kind of quantify that, Fraser Institute is ranked as the top mining jurisdiction. So we're very happy to be here. And despite what people think, the operating costs here are unbelievably low, probably top decile in the world in terms of exploration as well as development and production. So going right into the Gold Line Belt project package I talked about, we're in kind of at the intersection of the Skellefteå VMS belt, which is very prolific and kind of made the company Boliden kind of put it into its existence, probably 40, 50 active and historic deposits on that Skellefteå VMS belt. A lot of them are gold-rich polymetallic deposits. And then we are, again, 100 kilometers of strike on the Gold Line Belt, all sitting in very high potential Greenstone Belt package. The Varsili deposit is right in the middle, and that's a joint venture project between us and Agnico Eagle. That's a 2.4 million ounce deposit, second largest deposit in all of Europe, just behind Rupert Resources. I'll talk about that in a little more detail. And so overall, we are the largest land package holder in Sweden, one of the largest also in the Nordics overall. And on that, I will talk about the other projects, Storjuktin and Powbacken as well, but this area has lots of recently permitted and active mines, so we're in the right area. The big thing here, guys, is 70, 80 years behind the other greenstone belts around the world in terms of modern exploration. It only opened up in the late 90s, and I think that's the opportunity, the fact that it's not been explored and the fact that we are effectively the sole owners here. Quick comparison here, you look at the Abitibi, same kind of rocks, generally greenstone belt. Just looking at the Quebec portion, you look at 100 kilometers, about 15 to 17 operators. 100 million ounces just on that side of production. You look at us owning 100 kilometers of strike and the potential for when it is explored, what could it be, right? Capital structure, market cap sitting at about 110 million market cap currently. In terms of shareholders, you've got about 40% is institutional, made up of various institutions of various sizes. Several of them are US focused, also some European family offices. Insiders own about 18%. Retail is about 30%, and Agnico Eagle is also an 11% shareholder of us, and that's just at the equity level. They're also at the project level at Varsili. You see the share price performance chart here over the past year. Steady kind of growth in the share price as we launched First Nordic. First Nordic, I wanted to note actually, was the merger of Varsili Minerals with Gold Line Resources in early 2024. We launched in early 2024 and got out there and marketed the story. Liquidity picked up drastically. Share prices has been supported as well, and we recently just did a $11.5 million bought deal that we completed in late November, so we're all cashed up for 2025 and well into 2026 as well. So going into the Varsili project, I'll go high level again here, guys. Please drop by for more details. It's a joint venture, 55 Agnico, 45 us. They are the operators. We are fully carried. Important to note that the resource area here, which is shown in the red, has been nationally designated as having mining status in Sweden. Highest priority, number one priority in that polygon is mining, which is a fast track for eventual permitting as you move towards production. Large land package, there's about 15 to 20 other targets. I'm not going to spend time on this package here talking about all the targets, but this focus has been at the resource area, but there's plenty of other targets to look at. Over 165,000 meters and close to 500 holes here. Very, very data-rich environment. $60 million has been spent since Agnico came in 2015. If we look at the deposit, here's a long section. You'll see it's about 3.5 kilometers in strike, 550, 600 meters is the average resource depth. We have hit, important to note, down to 925 meters, and geophysics suggests this kind of mineralization extends to 2 kilometers, which is typical for these styles of deposits, the greenstone belt deposits. So we believe there's high potential for this 2.5 or so, circa 2.5 million ounces to grow quite rapidly as you explore at depth, especially. These all start at surface, so they all start as kind of starter pits, and there are 3 kind of zones, and then they all move underground. The big part to note here, guys, is what really excites us is the bulk underground mining potential, and we believe that's the future of underground mining, this bulk underground mining. If you think about it, you're talking about 2, 3, 4 meter veins you think about. Imagine a mineralized zone underground that's the width of this room. That's what we have. The width of this room is completely mineralized underground and beyond, which can you imagine what that can do to your per ton costs? That makes the Barsele project very amenable to bulk underground mining. There's a couple other points to note here, guys. I've noted some analog mines that are in operation. Alamos Gold's Young-Davidson mine is a very close analog to this. Several other Agnico mines, including LaRonde, Goldex, as well as the planned Detour Underground, are very similar. The Kittilä mine is in Finland, also very similar, and they're making lots of money with this bulk underground mining, even with kind of what you would think are normally lower underground grades. Our underground grades are about 2.5 to 3 gram per ton. Open pit grades is about 1.3 to 1.5. But again, this bulk underground mining potential is what really sets this apart. Metallurgy, mid-90s, and that can be improved on. So this project is high potential to move forward and have very healthy and economic returns. If we look at another mine in the area, Mandalay Resources is about a couple hundred kilometers from us, the Björkdale mine, which has been operating since the 1980s. Their underground head grade with a similar mining method, longhole open stoping, is 1.6 gram per ton. So we're nearly double that, which again shows what this mine could be. Recoveries are actually slightly higher. Metallurgy is a little more simple. So all in all, this shows that Barsele could have very, very healthy returns. And a big part of that is the low electricity costs. You're talking about 3 to 4 cents per kilowatt hour, which probably makes it one of the lowest in kind of the first world mining jurisdictions. This shows greenstone belt deposits. You see we're only at 600 meters, and these belts can go typically to 1,500 meters and beyond. There's 3 targets now. The thesis is we've got the Barsele project, and there's 3 other targets. I'll go through this a little quick. 3 targets to the south and north on the same belt that have the same kind of size potential. So the first target is Powbacken, which we will be diamond drilling starting in Q1 this year. There has been a discovery here that looks very similar to Barsele. The discovery hole was 22.5 meters of 2.5 gram per ton. We've already been doing base of till drilling, which is essentially bedrock sampling, percussion drilling. Thanks. At the surface, this will move on to about 10,000 meters of diamond drilling in 2025, and we hope to work towards a maiden resource here. If we go a little bit north of the Powbacken project, at the Harpson project, we've already identified an over 5 kilometer geochemical anomaly, exact same geochemical signature as Barsele. This will be base of till drilled. It's actually going to be underway in a few days, and then we'll move that on to diamond drilling 5 to 10,000 meters here. Again, a potential new discovery here. And then target 3, again, another 5.5 kilometer, again, comparing to Barsele, which is about 3.5 kilometer footprint. 5.5 kilometer target, geochemical anomaly, very similar to Barsele. This is north of Barsele on the Storjukten project called the Nippus target. This will be bot drilled. It was already actually started in December, and then we move on to diamond drilling later this year. So overall, 25,000 meter diamond drill package, diamond drilling program, sorry, which is going to be ongoing news through 2025. Base of till drilling results to come out in kind of Q1 over the next 4 to 8 weeks. 100 holes on each property, 100 to 200 holes over 4 projects. So ongoing news there for assays. And then we are going to be listing on the Swedish Stock Exchange, guys, in probably late Q1, which we think will expose the story to Swedish investors and other investors in Europe, which we think will really help us increase our exposure there as we move forward. So thank you again for your time, and have a good conference.